Hey guys, welcome. It's Marcy, the Cranky Crafter. It's Fodder Friday. It's so great when we make it to Friday. This week, I thought we would do kind of like a combination of maybe fall and Halloween. I'm not big into holidays, so I don't really like delve into that type of stuff very often. But this one is a little bit, I would say, holiday neutral. But we're gonna make these fun little moths. They kind of remind me of hummingbird moths. Do you guys get those where you are? So they're bigger moths, but they make you think that they're hummingbirds because they're, I would say, comparable in size, and they got like a little furry body, and they feed off the plants kind of just like hummers do. Anyway, this is what we're gonna do. I got this idea from, I'm not gonna be able to pronounce her name right. I think it's Alicia Young Art or Alicia Young Art. I'll link her. I don't know about if she's on YouTube, and I actually just saw this when I was scrolling through Instagram, like on the search feature, and I happened upon a picture, like a still shot of something similar to this, and so I said, oh, I bet I could do those in watercolor. I don't know actually if hers are in watercolor or if they're in some other kind of media, but this is the general idea, and maybe you can find it on find them on her page. But we're gonna do watercolor. So I've got my 8 round, you know, you're not supposed to have favorites, but that's kind of my trusty workhorse. And I might actually have to invest in a new one soon because I've used it so much that the tip is getting kind of fuzzy, if you will, because I've used it so much. And I like it when I can get it to a good point, and it's not letting me do that very easily anymore. So that just shows you how well loved that this paintbrush is. Okay, I've got my main palette back here. Whoa. And I have some like purples and like turquoise, and yes, they're all blending together and I don't really mind. And I'm gonna add some Prussian blue. I think that's what this is. Like it's a mixture of like black and blue kind of. I'm gonna add that in there too because I can if I want. Because these are gonna end up like kind of purpley, bluey. The thing here is you don't want your colors too vibrant, because when we, well, I mean, you can use whatever color you want. I take that back, scratch that, rewind. If you want the colors vibrant, make them vibrant. But what I did after I painted was I actually came in with like a light stamp and stamped on it because I liked the texture of that. But you don't have to do that. So I suppose if you want them to be bright colors, you do you, boo. Make them bright. Mine are gonna be more like bluey, purpley, gray kind of. Those are very specific color terms. They are. Okay, so you're gonna make just like a little head, kind of, just like almost like a tiny gumdrop shape. And then you're gonna come out to make the wing and just kind of make some scallops on the bottom. Oh, this one's gonna be small. And you can adjust those, right? If you want to. Like as you're filling the color in. Because right now it kind of looks like flour. So I'm gonna kind of fill that little space in a little bit. I bet you came here for very specific watercolor terms, and you're going to realize that doesn't happen on this channel. That's pretty much the basic shape that you want. And then if you want to, which you'll know that I do frequently, I come in and like drop in some color. That's up to you if you feel like you want to do that. And that's, I just like the magic behind that. Can you see how cool that looks? It's because I added color when it was not still super wet, but it was still damp, and it makes those big blooms. Now, if you're a professional watercolorist, oftentimes you don't want those, but as you will soon learn, we are not professionals on this channel. We're just trying to make it every day on this channel. And we do that by making art that makes our heart happy. Yes, we do. Okay, so let's go through the next one. I think I'm going to give myself some more space so I can give it like a wider wingspan. So I get the main shape first, and then I kind of come in and fine tune the wings. Does that make sense? Like I kind of just do the scallops first, and then you can come in and, you know, kind of refine them a little bit. What I find that I end up doing often is not really giving them a very much of a head. Like this one, it looks almost like there's no head. But I really would like it to have kind of like that. But it doesn't always happen, you guys, and that's okay. Every one of these is going to be different. And that's the beauty of it, right? Nature is all different, and this is all different. See, look at how these colors have bloomed like that. I think that's super cool. So we're going to keep doing that. The main thing you want to keep in mind is before we move on to the, oh, bugger. You guys, why didn't somebody tell me, Marcy, you didn't do the little antenna. And that's too much water. Don't like that. That's better. I've got like fuzzy things on the end of my brush. This one, I'll have to fix it when I cut it, maybe, or it's just gonna have lopsided ones. Sometimes we're a little bit lopsided, and that's okay. I think that's okay. I'm a little bit lopsided. Let's make kind of a purpley one. Now, watercolor dries a few shades lighter than what you think. So even if you get it on the paper and you're like, oh, I think that might be too dark, it's gonna dry. It's gonna dry a little bit lighter. That's just the nature of watercolor. You can come down and give this like a little, you know, like what you think its body is, if you want to. You can do it. You can do it whatever you want. And then drop in some like little dots. I love a good dot. Okay. See, this is, I might need to get out my smaller brush because this one doesn't want to come to a point very well. It's good. It's fine. We like it. I have my hot cinnamon tea here, and I'm going to take a drink of my beverage. We're getting ready to move into our gray and what you would call rainy season here in the desert. It's not a lot of rain. Sorry for my reach, but my palette is up here that I've got on this, on my actual paint case. So while I have my husband at home, he's getting ready to have to travel a bit, but while I have him home, we're gonna get some work done outside, I think, before it gets yucky out. We have chickens back there, and we have an extra run for them that we built that we set over the garden. What if I did some black antenna? If I did that. We set the fun run over the garden so that we can get free manure, basically. And then I till it in. So I'm hoping that this weekend we can take down the fun run. I think I want, what do I want? Maybe a little turquoisey one. So I'm hoping I can take that down. And by me, I mean him. I mean, I'll help him if he wants help, but he probably will do it. And then once it's down, I'm going to get the tiller out and till it up, so that once we do get snow and rain and such, it will be ready to welcome it in and soak up all the goodness. That's my plan. I know it sounds like a good plan, but we'll see if it happens. This new job of his, we're finding that we don't get much notice when travel has to happen, because he just found out yesterday. They're like, we're probably going to need you to travel a few times over the next 4 weeks. And we're like, oh. And they're like, yeah, like a couple days from now, you'll start. Oh, okay. That's great. I love that. So, yep, we're just over here trying to be flexible. I'll do one more and then we'll carry on. Oh, that color is pretty, isn't it? I kind of like the, I feel like I want like a, not black, but these are all bluish, purplish. I feel like I want like grayish, maybe. Let's try this and see what happens. This is like a mix of black and, well, I had some green in my palette. So that's what it is. We'll see what happens. Oh, it's like an olive green. Might have to put these in the nature journal. This one only has, oh yeah, these have like 4 and this one has 3. What if we come down here and give it a little hiney? A moth hiney. That's totally dry. So we'll come in over here and do it. The side is already done, already dry. You can tell, right? Because these aren't bleeding out anywhere. They're not merging at all. So that is already dry. It's fine. I don't mind. It just looks like splatters. In fact, we might go over the whole thing with splatters. I'm in the desert here, so everything watercolor dries super duper fast, and it can be a challenge. Let's do splatters because we can. What color splatters do we want? Like purple? That sounds fun. I'm just gonna use what I have back here and get some of it and use it. I love a good splatter, but they're not mandatory. Okay, got the basics. I'm gonna pause you so I can dry. Okay, now the next step, and you don't have to do this step, but I thought it was fun addition. I have like just like a background stamp here. Let's see, this one is, it's just got some like writing and some grid, and if I had just solely like a text stamp, like with cursive writing on it, I would probably use that, but I don't. So we're using what we got. So I've got my, what is this? Archival ink in black. You don't have to use black. If you have it in any color, you could use it. I have it in like a potting soil color, and that would look cool on here too, I think. So what I want basically is just to stamp it, because I want some of the images to come onto the bird. It's not a bird, it's a moth. And it's not all gonna fit on there, right? And that's totally fine. And then I'll turn it around and do it that way. And I'll turn it around again and do it that way. It doesn't really matter what image gets stuck on there, to be truthful. If some of it does, that's great. And then I have this other one. We'll try it. It's not as big, so I don't know how well it's gonna do. I could do like 2 rows of it, I guess. Or 3. That's fun. And don't worry about, you know, it looking crazy, because we're gonna cut it out. Although I suppose it still could look crazy. It's all in the eye of the beholder. Okay, so I have my black fine liner. This is just the generic one. It's a 0.35. And I also have my Uniball Signo, it's gold. I really would love to use my white one, but it's being extremely temperamental and it won't go on the watercolor paper. Sometimes it does that, and it's like ornery. So this time we're just gonna stick with these, I guess. So what I like to do is just do my outline, and I do it, you know, loose, because that's what I like. And then if I need to refine it when I cut it, I will. And this one has like a little body. And I usually go around twice, just because I like that. I don't know why the white one is so obstinate, but it is. It's like, I'm not doing that, and you can't make me. I was out doing yard work the other day, and I had a volunteer sunflower that came up next to my gas meter. I don't know if you guys have this like where you live, but we have gas meters on the side of our house, and then we have like, you know, people that come around and read it, and that's how they charge our bill or whatever. And there's a couple volunteer sunflowers over there, and I just let them grow. Well, I was trying to tidy up over there because after the birds eat all the seeds off of them, I usually will just pull them up and, you know, throw them in the garbage. You guys, whoa. I did that, sorry. I pulled up one of them over there on the side of the house, and out comes a mole. I don't know if it's a mole, a vole, some kind of critter that I don't want near my person. And it's like on the bottom of the root ball of the sunflower, and I'm looking at it and it's looking at me, and we're both like, what do we do now? And so I set it down and I let him go back to wherever he was going to go. I don't know if I was supposed to do that. They're probably not good for my yard, are they? Well, that's what happened here. He got a free pass, and I didn't pee my pants, and so I call that a win. Okay, so I like to embellish these. You can embellish them however, whatever, you know, you like, but I like to kind of emulate wings a little bit. And so I kind of come in with the gold and make little curvy lines. You see that? And then I just kind of put like little leaves on them. And you could get super fancy dancy if you want to. You don't have to do it in gold. I kind of am digging the gold right now. Like I said, I would really like to try it in white, especially on some of these darker ones, but watch. I'll show you. I even opened a brand new pen because I thought maybe I was out of ink. And it just doesn't want to go. Can you see that? I mean, that's a little bit. It doesn't, I mean, it looks fine. Looks fine. But I would prefer it if it, you know, was full white. Like you could see it full white. How about this one? I'm going to do 2. And move your paper about, you know, if you need to. I think that the artist that I got this inspiration from, I think she did something kind of similar to that too. But like I said, I don't know if hers were watercolor or if maybe they were computer, like digital images. I'm going to try this one with black. And you don't have to do leaves. You could just do like little dots. Kind of stagger them. I mean, you could do whatever. I kind of like the leaves, but this is okay too. The leaves kind of give it like a botanical vibe, you know? This one I think is kind of cool. Like it's got this little splotch here. Yeah, kind of organic like that. What do you think? Are you liking it? I'm kind of liking it. And then we just cut out. It'll look different when you cut it out because you won't have all this, you know, all this excess background. I'm going to say noise. Of course, it's not really noise. I'm going to save that for later. I mean, you could leave it just like that. You could do it in a square if you wanted. But I'm cutting mine out. I think it's gonna be a sad day. Whoa. What do we think? Oh, it's cute. I like it. It's like fall, kind of Halloween-y, but not really Halloween-y. You could make it more Halloween-y by using, you know, purples and greens, and if you felt like you wanted to do that. I think we're gonna have a sad day this weekend because Blanche the chicken is not well, and she has not been well for a couple weeks. I've had chickens for many years since we moved out here to the West Coast, and have learned just how quirky a chicken's health is. If you've never had chickens, you probably never ever thought about it. But 1 minute, they can be absolutely fine. The next minute, not so fine. So I tend to monitor them for a bit because sometimes they can bounce back. Sometimes there's things that, I think I'm going to cut that bit off. Sometimes there's remedies that we can use to help them out that are, you know, very effective. But most often, when they start suffering from anything that's respiratory related, it's hard for them to come back from that. And Blanche she's been having a hard go of it. This guy's antenna is there. So I might have to make the hard decision to put her down, and I don't like them to suffer unnecessarily because that's not kind. But she's having a hard time breathing. Very, very labored breathing, even when she's just in a sedentary position. So, all right, here's what we have. Look at these. Oh. This one almost looks like it could be a pumpkin with antenna. When we just did our pumpkins, and you could totally do, you know, botanical stuff on your pumpkins too. That would be super fun. But we have these. I've got several different shapes going on here. Do you guys have a favorite? Oh boy, I don't know. I really like this one. And I kind of like this one. All right, well, so these are our little little guys. That's what we're going to go with, moths. And you can, you know, get as detailed on the bottom with their wings as you want. I tend to keep things pretty basic. Well, because that's just how I do it. I like it to be fun, and if I get too fiddly, then it doesn't become fun for me and I get too stressed out. So this is where we're at. I'll link the gal's page below, at least her Instagram. I don't know if she has any other platforms, but if you guys have ideas for Fodder Friday, put your suggestions below, and I've been keeping a list. Hopefully we can get to them as long as I feel like it's something that I can accomplish and make resemble what the end product should be. If you're still here with us and want to give me a thumbs up, that would be fantastic, and I'll see you next time.